There are 4 teams left in the NFL. Who will be playing for Super Bowl 58? Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we are here to talk some more football, baby. We got the NFC and AFC championship games to talk about. Only 3 games left in the regular season playoffs, the 2023-24 season. I don't know where the time has gone. I remember week 1 like it wasn't that long ago. But for the playoffs so far, we are up 2.26 units through the first 2 rounds. We'll go over all the recap from last round and everything like that. But I am pumped up, guys. I am ready to roll, jacked about these matchups because no matter who wins either game, I think we got a great matchup in Super Bowl 58. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, which you can't always say that. So I'm looking forward to it. But before we get into the video, I only have one dad joke. It's a football dad joke because why not, right? So here we go. What do you call a Buffalo Bill player with a Super Bowl ring? A thief. You could insert name. Sorry, guys. Too soon, Bills fans? My bad. Insert anything else you want. Cleveland Browns? I could keep going, but I don't want to piss too many people off. But anyways, that's my only dad joke I got. I'm ready to talk some football. In this video, we're going to recap the bets from the divisional round, and then we're going to preview and give our best bets for the Chiefs at the Ravens, and then do the same for the Lions at the 49ers, and finish it with the bets recap. Hit that like button, leave a comment below if you have any time. It really helps that algorithm, helps our channel grow, and helps more people to see this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Just a few days ago, we creeped over the 20,000 subscriber mark, all because of you guys. You guys are awesome. This positive community is awesome, and it's a lot of fun to talk sports with you guys every single day. So I'm ready to get into the championship round, and it starts with the recap. All right, it was just a so-so weekend in the divisional round. We had a good day Sunday and a bad day on Saturday. We didn't hit any of those half-unit plays, unfortunately, for anytime touchdowns. But Sunday, Baker Mayfield over 255.5. That was a very easy winner as the Lions secondary continues to struggle against the pass. And then James Cook, 50-plus yards and under 51.5. That was such an easy win. I'm just joking with you guys. The under 51.5 looked like I had no chance. And I remember saying in that video, getting past the 51 mark is huge because it's a key number for a score like 27-24. Well, guess what? That's what it was. And thanks to a few different things, but especially a kick wide right, as the Bills fans have heard before, that got us under 51.5 just barely. So that was a 2-0 day on Sunday. Saturday was brutal. I was an idiot. I don't know why I didn't just move the teaser down to the Ravens minus 2.5 instead of Texans plus 15.5. I was stupid. It was my fault. Under 49 hit, but either way, that was a loser. And then Purdy under 30.5 pass attempts. I don't understand what the Niners were doing, to be honest with you. First of all, the game script didn't work out because they were falling behind. And I told you guys when I made that bet, that it had to be a good game script. When the Niners were ahead, that's what I assumed. But also, they just abandoned the run so early, and I just didn't understand it. Why McCaffrey wasn't getting the ball a lot more, and why Brock Purdy had the ball in his hands without Deebo Samuel over and over and over. And he ended up with like 39 pass attempts. I think they learned something from that game about that. But anyways, that was a loss. Anytime touchdown bets, Gus Edwards didn't get in, and Sam Laporta almost did. He had a chance. He had a ball thrown to him, at least one target in the end zone. But either way, I just throw a half unit on those. Those are fun to me. You got to get some luck on anytime touchdowns. I don't take those. I don't bet too much money on those. I'll say that. But playoff record through the first 2 rounds: 7-6, up 2.26 units. Let's finish it strong, though. And I did not mention this in the intro, but before we get to the best bets, let's check out the trends. All right, if you've been following us all season, you know the trends have been doing very, very well this year. And I got one page of trends for the championship round. This first one is it's just been printing money, guys. And honestly, I'm going to probably tell you to just go bet it. I almost made it an official bet. It's just kind of weird. I don't bet second half totals, but I would go bet it. Chiefs have gone under the second half total in 17 of 19. We're not talking a 55% rate or anything. 17 of 19 games. It happened again last week. It needed a little help last week, like a missed field goal and stuff, but it did. The total is 21.5 in the second half. Chiefs, 16-4-1 against the spread last 21 games as an underdog, and they've actually won 15 of those outright. That's absolutely insane. Betting against the Chiefs as an underdog is something that takes a little guts. I'll say that. In Mahomes, 11 games as an underdog, 11-0 if you put him in a 6-point teaser. How about that trend? So if you were to do that, that means you'd be putting the Chiefs up to plus 10 in a 6-point teaser. And if you do something like that every time he's an underdog, he is 11-0. That is interesting. I've never given a trend out like that, but I saw that and I just had to include it. So, Ravens 14-4 against the spread in the first half. They are the number one first half against the spread team in the league. They are favored by 2.5 at halftime. And then the Lions 8-2 against the spread the last 10 road games. And the Lions are also 17-4 against the spread as an underdog of 4 or more points under Dan Campbell. How about that one? They are plus 7.5 actually in some books. And then the last one, 10 of the last 11 Lions games have gone over the third quarter total. That's an interesting one, but that's kind of like the second half. We're talking 10 of 11. That's pretty good. And that third quarter total is 10.5 points. So hopefully these trends can help you get some winners, help you with your handicap. If you just want to blindly tail the trend, I would recommend doing like a half unit or just a sprinkle because obviously it should just be a part of a big bet. So, anyways, those are the NFL trends, and I'm ready. Let's get into it. And it starts with the Chiefs and Ravens. All right, the AFC Championship game takes us out to Baltimore, Maryland. We got the Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens -4. Total in this game is 44.5. Let's talk some storylines in this one. Ravens, they got here by putting a second half absolute beatdown on the Houston Texans. Great year by the Texans, but that was the end of the road. And Chiefs got here thanks to the 15th Buffalo Bills kicker to hit wide right. At least that's what it feels like. I just feel for you Bills fans. I know I made fun of you in the joke earlier, but that's just rough. That's for sure. I really don't know why Buffalo didn't feed the ball to James Cook a little bit more. I thought they went away from that too soon, but either way, Bills are not in. Another crazy play with that touchdown turning into a touchdown into a touchback too. But the Ravens, they have not made it this far since their Super Bowl run in 2012. I cannot believe it was that long ago already. It does not feel like 11, 12 years ago. Um, can the Chiefs just continue to find ways to win? I mean, that's just what they do. They find ways to win, especially in the playoffs. I mean, if they win this game, guys, it's going to be one of their most impressive wins I think Mahomes and Andy Reid has ever had. I'm just going to be honest with you because this is a tough matchup, and they just don't have all the weapons they used to have. Some trends, like I already mentioned earlier, they make it tough to fade Mahomes and Andy Reid. It kind of reminds me of times when I like to fade Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. It wasn't. It's mostly Brady, but either way, it wasn't always a great idea, even if you thought the other team was better. But this Ravens team is definitely a well-oiled machine right now. So I got two best bets in this game, and the first one is the one you've all been waiting for. It's like this is it. This is what you've been wanting to know. Who does he like to kick field goals? I like Justin Tucker. Over 1.5 field goals is at -130 on every sports book I've looked at so far. He's the best kicker on planet Earth, for whatever that's worth. He's attempted 2+ field goals in 9 of the last 11 games. In those 2 games that he did not attempt 2 field goals, one was because they played the backups in the last week of the season. Means nothing. The other one was because they scored 56 points against the Dolphins. They just never got stopped. They just scored touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. He's made 2+ field goals in 7 of his last 9 games. I mean, to be doing it as consistently as he does, I was shocked when I went to it. I was like, they're probably going to have this either at 2.5 at plus money or 1.5 at -150 or so. So to get 130, I think is kind of a bargain, to be honest. He has not missed a kick since Thanksgiving versus the Chargers. That's right. The Chiefs, they also have a top 10 red zone defense when it comes to allowing touchdowns, so touchdown percentage. In my opinion, that can possibly help them in kind of holding the Ravens on a few drives to maybe kicking some field goals instead of getting touchdowns again. We only need 2 field goals. And that's all I got for the kicker. I mean, guys, it's a kicker. I don't need to say much more. He's been doing it consistently. I think, this matchup, I don't think the Ravens can score a touchdown every play, but I do think they can move the ball. I think the Chiefs have a good enough defense to slow them down a couple times. And then, of course, you always got the end of a half possibility and things like that. So give me Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals as my first best bet. Now, this second one's going to be one that you guys are probably looking forward to a little bit more because it's a little same game parlay. Here we go. Give me Lamar Jackson, 50+ rush yards, and the Ravens money line. That's right, the Ravens to win at -111 on FanDuel. Let's talk Lamar first, 50+ yards. So he's had 50+ rush yards in 5 of the last 10 games. But in the playoffs, he uses his legs a lot more. Get this, he is averaging 93.4 rush yards per game in his playoff career. That's absolutely insane. He's hit 50+ yards in 4 of his 5 playoff games. He has 100+ rushing yards in 3 of his 5 playoff games. So when the time comes and they need to win, they need to move the ball. There's no more business decisions. He needs to win ball games, and he uses his legs a lot because he knows that's the number one weapon they have. He now faces the Chiefs. The Chiefs have given up the ninth most rush yards to the quarterback position this year. They just gave up 12 carries for 72 yards to Josh Allen last week, as you guys saw. I think Lamar could have another huge game here on the ground, especially since the Chiefs are a top five pass defense. Lamar might drop back a few times, not see anybody open, and just absolutely take off. So I think he goes over the original line, which is 65.5. I couldn't quite get there. So I'm going to take it down to 50 and just pair it with the Ravens money line. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this game. I have to trust what my eyes see. I mean, that's just is what it is. It's hard for me to fade Mahomes and Andy Reid, but you know what? I don't want to get beat again fading the Ravens because this team is just absolutely loaded. And let's talk about their team and why are they so loaded, other than the fact that they're healthy finally, and they haven't been like that for years past, that's for sure. But they have a unique offense. And if you talk to any football guy or a defensive player, and I've heard this in interviews, the Ravens have two of the hardest things it takes to defend against. One of them, two very good tight ends. That is just not easy. One very good tight end is there's a reason why they dominate because it is hard. You got linebackers, safeties, whatever it is matching up on them, and it's hard. And now the Ravens have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. That's a tough matchup for them. And then on top of it, out of all of it, you got the best mobile quarterback in the NFL. Any mobile quarterback is hard for a defense to game plan. But when it's Lamar Jackson averaging almost 100 rush yards per game in the playoffs, it's just, guys, it's just insane because that means you're pretty much taking at least one defender and saying, please go shadow him. And you know what? Most of the time, it doesn't matter because that guy's not as fast as Lamar Jackson. And if you do that, that means you got 10 on defense. So the whole thing, it is just tough. And the Ravens know it. They are just unbelievable on offense right now. And on top of that, by the way, they got speedsters like Zay Flowers, Justice Hill, and then the battering ram and Gus Edwards running right up the middle as a goal line back. Solid offensive line. I mean, this team is just absolutely loaded on offense. And it starts with Lamar, obviously, the MVP of the season. And then you got the defense, who's been playing unbelievable, playing lights out, especially in Baltimore. And now let's talk about the Chiefs real quick. Chiefs played better last week, but I still didn't come out of it saying, "Man, this offense is definitely back." I think they got a little lucky; they hit some big plays. But the last two games they've played against the Dolphins and the Bills have been against those two teams have had a ton of injuries on the defensive side. I mean, they were not fully healthy, not 100%. Not like this Bills or this Ravens defense has been playing, that's for sure. So I don't think they're back. I still think they lack some weapons on the outside, obviously. They need to trust Pacheco. They need to trust the run game because they need to keep Lamar off the field, that's for sure. This Ravens healthy on both sides, loaded on both sides. They are out on a mission right now, that's for sure. So give me the Ravens to win the game along with Lamar Jackson to get 50 plus rush yards and send Baltimore to Super Bowl 58. And now let's talk a little BetMGM. All right, for a limited time only, as you guys know, BetMGM for new users. You sign up using the link below. You go deposit $10, and all you have to do is put $5 down on any bet, any parlay that you want to do. You get $158 instantly in bonus bets. I mean, you get three bonus bets of 50, 50, and then 58 for Super Bowl 58. It is an incredible deal. If you lose your $5 bet, it doesn't matter. You're still getting $158 instantly in bonus bets. You got to go check this out for new users for BetMGM. Click that link below, and this is all thanks to our partnership with OddsShopper. Must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. And now let's talk Lions and 49ers. All right, the NFC title game goes out to Santa Clara. We got the 49ers hosting, I can't even believe I'm saying it out loud, the Detroit Lions. 49ers minus 7.5. Total in this game is a whopping 51.5. Lions are trying to make their first Super Bowl appearance in franchise history. The Lions fans must be absolutely going crazy right now. 49ers trying to make their eighth Super Bowl in franchise history. Jared Goff going back where he went to college at Cal Berkeley. And the 49ers, let's talk about them a little bit, though. They got here by squeaking by, and I mean squeaking by, the Green Bay Packers. For a little while there, it looked like they were going to lose. It was just absolutely crazy. But in their defense, they did have a huge game plan centered around Deebo Samuel, apparently, according to everybody. And he went down early in the game, and you have to change it on the fly. That's not easy to do. But they were also a little rusty from, resting starters by a week, all that kind of stuff. But they got the job done, so they are here. Lions got here by beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home last week. The offense scored 31 points, but the Lions defense still, again, gave up over 400 total yards to the Buccaneers offense, which is nowhere near this San Francisco offense, that's for sure. This will be the first outdoor game for the Lions since Week 14 versus the Bears, where they lost 28-13 in that outdoor game. I know some people want to say it doesn't matter, but guess what? We talked about it with the Texans. It mattered. They scored 3 offensive points, guys. The Texans did. And I know the Lions are better than the Texans. I am not comparing the two. I'm just saying when a team struggles, usually outside, they're used to playing inside. They had so many road games this year that were in a dome. It was just absolutely crazy. So last outdoor game, lost by 2 touchdowns to the Chicago Bears. Does not mean they're going to lose by that here. I'm just letting you guys know. Injuries in this game, there's 2 big ones. Deebo Samuel, he's questionable, obviously, as we all know, with that shoulder injury, and then Sam Laporta questionable. I'm going to guess he's going to play for the Lions. Maybe he's just resting all week just to get there, but I'm going to guess he is going to play. So I have one best bet in this game. So I got 2 in the other one in this one. If I have an added play, I will put it in the pinned comments, Discord, Twitter, X, sorry, all that kind of stuff. But my best bet in this game is a player prop. Give me George Skittles over 61.5 receiving yards at -110 on FanDuel. Now, a big reason I like this prop is because Debo is either out or hurt. Even if Debo plays, I can't imagine the 49ers want him taking many hits, that's for sure. Especially if they plan on playing in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. I mean, he could get absolutely crushed, and shoulder injuries when you're getting tackled is not going to be fun. So let's just assume Debo's out or not really a part of it. In 6 games without Debo Samuel that Kittle has played, and this is with Brock Purdy at quarterback also, Kittle is averaging 90.6 receiving yards per game and has a 24.6% target share. He becomes one of the main men, that's for sure. On top of that, the 49ers' best chance to move the ball against this team is through the pass, obviously. I'm pretty sure if I warmed up my arm, I could also throw against this Lions defense for over 300 yards because everybody seems to do it. I almost went with Purdy over 275 passing yards as well. That's a very high total for him, but it's high for a reason. This Lions team, they've been awful defending the pass in general, but also against tight ends. They gave up 65 yards to my boy, K. last week, and they gave up the 8th most yards to the tight end position in the NFL during the regular season. So they already struggle against tight ends. George Kittle's one of the best there is. He's even better when Debo Samuel is out, if he's out. But again, even if he's in, I don't think they're going to have a whole game plan centered around Debo Samuel this time. And like I said, Purdy's pass prop is 275 for a reason. He should get a lot of passing yards, a lot of passing attempts. And the Lions are almost automatic, allowing 300 plus receiving yards. So I think Kittle's going to be a huge part of the game plan. Ayuk's number, it's in the low 80s, I believe. I thought about it, but it's just a little too high for me. So I prefer George Kittle at the 61.5 mark. He's gone over this in 4 of the last 6 games. With Debo being out or hurt, I think Kittle could have a huge game here, and it won't even take many carries. I mean, honestly, he's averaging over 15 yards per catch, so he could get some big ones down the middle of the field. And I think he could cash this early. Honestly, if he's a big part of this game plan, I think this is a great bet. I think the number should be a little higher. So, give me George Kittle over 61.5 receiving yards is my only bet in this game. As for a lean in this game, not an official bet yet. Teasing the 49ers down to 1 is not a bad idea, to be honest with you. 1.5. I think the 49ers win. And I'm going to say this, I want the Lions to win so badly. I'm a Seahawks fan. Obviously, you don't want to see the Niners win, but they've won it before. You got a team that's never made the Super Bowl. You got to root for them. I love Dan Campbell. So I am rooting for the Lions. I think the Niners probably get it done. It's not a best bet, but teasing them down to 1.5 might not be a bad option. And maybe if you're going to tease it with the total, maybe go over 45.5. I think we see a lot of points in this one. So, anyways, that's just a lean and what I think about the game. But that is my only best bet for this game. And now I'm going to tell you something about what you can do with this George Kittle prop. So before we get to the best bets, let's talk some Thrive Fantasy. All right, for those of you who have not checked out Thrive yet, this is a great time to do it. You get a 100% first deposit match all the way up to $250. Plus, you get your own first free square in your first parlay. You got to use the promo code Jabo to get that deal. You put 250 bucks in, guys, they match it. That is a ton of money they're giving out. And then, like I said, they're giving you run CMC over half rushing yards. So you got one leg of your parlay. Add it to this George Kittle play if you want. You make a 2-leg parlay. Add your own if you want to make it a 3, 4, or 5-leg parlay, and that's what you get paid. It's an incredible deal. I don't know how much longer the 250 is going to last, but if you are in an eligible state, go to Thrive Fantasy with the link below. Use the promo code Jabo and get that first deposit match. So that's what we got for Thrive Fantasy. Let's talk the bets recap. Here's the NFL card for the championship round. Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals at minus 130. And then Lamar Jackson 50 plus yards and the Ravens to win the game and head to Super Bowl 58 at minus 111. And then George Skittles over 61.5 receiving yards at minus 110 on FanDuel. If I have another added play in that Niners Lions game, I will be sure to put it in the pinned comments and on X and on Discord. Man, let's have a good round. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your best bet is, who you guys think is going to be matched up in Super Bowl 58. This is exciting stuff. Even if you're not a fan of any of these teams, if you're like me, you still get nervous. You still have, sweaty hands as the game gets a little towards the end and everything because it's sports and it's exciting and you got to love it. So, anyways, that's the NFL championship round. Thank you for all the support during this NFL season. Obviously, this is not our last one. We'll have more before the Super Bowl, but hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy some football, and we'll talk to you soon.